Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and everybody always wants to know, how much money do you make on YouTube? Fine, I'll tell you. I've made just over $1 million. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and it is, but you need to keep in mind that that's over an almost 11-year period of time. And now would be a good time to tell you that YouTube takes 45% of all ad revenue generated from ads placed on my videos, and I'm not upset about it. Now, in this video, I'm gonna pull back the curtain and break down year by year, month by month, and in some cases, day by day, how much ad money is generated from my YouTube videos. But before I dive into that, let's take a trip down memory lane to the summer of 2010, when there was no such thing as the YouTube Partner Program. That's right, when I started making videos on YouTube, I couldn't even monetize them. Not that it would have added up to much money anyway, even if I could, but thankfully, a few months after launching my channel, YouTube rolled out the partner program to more potential channels, and I signed up to be a partner and was promptly denied access.
I'm sure you know all about the YouTube Partners program.
Yep, I was denied access to the program, so guess what I did? I replied to that email and then explained why I should be accepted, and a few hours later, somehow, I was accepted. Which means it was time to start bringing in that YouTube money. 1 cent, 2 cents, 91 cents. Yep, those were big money days. But guess what? I know that wasn't a lot of money, but I was really happy with all those pennies because I was doing it. I was making money on YouTube. By the end of 2010, I had made $2,975.89, which is not bad for making videos in my backyard. Hey, real quick, can you give 2010 Backyard Jared a thumbs up, please? Because he would really appreciate it. And he used to have really bad genes. But what you're really here for is this, $613,005.56. Wait, didn't I say earlier that I made more than $1 million in YouTube ads? Yeah, so what gives? Well, remember I said that YouTube takes 45% of all ad revenue? Well, $1 million less $450,000 is $550,000, which means I passed that mark sometime in 2020. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking that 45% is way too big of a cut. Now, the truth of the matter is, it's not. What does it cost me to post videos on YouTube? Nothing. What's the hosting on my 3,000 plus videos over the past 10 years cost me? Nothing. What do I have to pay for someone to sell ads on my videos? Again, nothing. Not to mention, what's it cost for me to potentially reach hundreds of millions of people around the world? Nothing. So for me, their cut is totally justified. With over $600,000 in take home from revenue from ads, you might think that I'm rolling in that YouTube dough. Actually, not exactly, and let me explain why. That $600,000 is split out over an 11-year period, meaning when you divide it up over 11 years, it comes out to only $55,000 a year, and that's before taxes. Sure, $55,000 isn't a small amount of money, but when you have full-time employees, healthcare, studio space, and a ton of other expenses, it doesn't go very far. Now, before you start a GoFundMe to save my channel, take a look at this. In 2010, the first year where ads were turned on, I made just under $3,000. In 2011, I made $16,000. From 2012 to 2016, I averaged between $37,000 and $40,000 a year. In 2017, I broke $55,000 a year. And starting in 2018, I finally started to see some growth with $83,000. 2019 saw 113,000, and 2020 was our best year ever with $144,000, which averaged out to $12,000 a month before taxes. So why did we start to see a massive jump in ad revenue around 2018? For one, we started to focus more on better titles and thumbnails, as well as putting out less videos, but focusing on better content. Second, I think more and more companies started to move their budgets to online advertising, which meant that ad rates would go up. Now would be a good time to also tell you that I don't run non-skippable ads or mid-roll ads, just skippable. Now, doing so would probably make me more money, but I know I will make way more money by embedding plugs for my own products. For example,
oh, thanks, Jared. Guys, I want to show you FroPack 2 in action. Check this out. We've got AC/DC, then we've got Apollo with no white balance, followed by Bob Ross, Charmin. Look how soft Charmin is. It looks great. Double stuffed Oreos. With one click, you're getting that black and white. My favorite right now for this image is Golden Grams. Then we've got all these different matte black options. Matte black high contrast, matte black low contrast. That's 7 of the 15 different presets that work with one click on this particular file. Now, if you're looking to speed up your raw workflow or give yourself a great starting point, we created 15 all-new custom Lightroom presets that you can check out right now at FroKnowsPhoto.com/FroPack2. While you're over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters, and if you decide to pick them up right now, they are currently on sale, or you could save even more when you bundle FroPack 1 and FroPack 2 together. Now, back to Jared.
Now let's break down 2020 by months. You can see we started off strong, but once March hit and the lockdown started, we took a 25 to 30% hit in ad revenue as advertisers pulled back on their ad spending. Now thankfully, within a month and a half, the advertisers came back and our YouTube revenue started to level back off. So why in July and August did we see a massive jump in ad revenue? Simple. The camera manufacturers who have been holding off on all of their announcements decided to unleash a ton of new gear all at once. The more new gear that comes out, the more videos we can make, the more people watch, the more views we get, the more ads get shown, the more money we can generate from those ads. So how does YouTube calculate how much a monetized view is actually worth? Well, YouTube calculates what's called CPM, which stands for cost per milli, which for all intent and purposes stands for how much you will make for every 1,000 views an ad is shown. Keep in mind that's just an estimate, but the higher the CPM, the more money you will make. Speaking of higher CPMs, look at September through December. Does anyone think they know why CPMs were up? The holidays. During the holiday seasons, more and more companies are looking to get their message out, which means ad rates go way up since there's more interest, which means more competition to get ads on my videos and everybody else's videos. Now, please keep this in mind. Not all YouTubers make the same CPMs. In fact, I spoke to a friend of mine who had similar views in a 30-day period and ended up with half as much in ad revenue. These numbers, they're gonna be different for everyone. Speaking of numbers, can you Peter McKinnon that like button if you haven't done so just yet? It's right down there below. Hey, you never know, maybe I'll make more money when you hit that like button. Now that we've looked at the yearly and monthly numbers, let's break it down even further into the daily revenue for 2020. No, this is not an echocardiogram. This is actually the daily revenue throughout the year of 2020. Now, it's simple. The higher the spike, the more money we made on that day. Some days you made $250. Other days they're $400 or $500, and then occasionally you get a pop like this one, which was $1,250. So what happened? Well, Canon announced the EOS R5, and our preview video went live generating $918.90 on that day, which means my back catalog videos generated another few $100s on top of that. Now for 2020, my top 5 grossing videos were the Canon EOS R5 announcement, which brought in $1,662 across 400,000 views, followed by the Sigma 24-70 E-mount review, the Canon EOS R5 real-world review, Nikon Z6 and Z7 1 year later review, and finally, the Sony A7S III preview. Now do you understand why we focus on gear videos so often? Because they're the videos that generate the most views and revenue. But with that being said, we also make content that we call long burn videos. These are the videos that we know won't do well right off the bat, but they tend to gain a lot more views over a 3 or 5 year period. Just for fun, let me show you my top earning video of all time. My top earning video has brought in $5,400 across 2.4 million views. Now keep in mind that video came out 5 years ago. If that video came out today and somehow scored 2.4 million views quickly, my guess is it would have generated somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 conservatively. Now that's most likely never going to happen for me, but a channel like MKBHD gets anywhere from 2 to 3 million views a day on average. Now to put that into perspective, I get 2 to 3 million a month. So now can you start to see how lucrative views can be for those bigger channels? Now that you know how much we generate from YouTube ads, you might be asking yourself, how can your business survive off of just that? The answer is, we can't. We need multiple revenue streams. In fact, we have 7 or 8. There's YouTube ads, merch, presets, video guides, mentorships, sponsorships and advertisers, affiliate sales, and speaking engagements when I'm allowed to actually go speak somewhere. Now for us, if we didn't have all of those other streams of revenue, we would be out of business because YouTube only accounts for a fraction of our yearly revenue. Now I could spend hours upon hours digging into these numbers and sharing them, and if you'd like me to do that, I'll be more than happy to make more videos just like this. But please let me know what you would like to see in a video down below. I'm not sharing these numbers to brag. I'm sharing them so you have a better understanding of how much a YouTube channel can actually make. Well, thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin here.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin. This is Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
Jared Polin.
FroKnowsPhoto. FroKnowsPhoto. FroKnowsPhoto.
FroKnowsPhoto.
Photo.
FroKnowsPhoto. FroKnowsPhoto.
Photo.
FroKnowsPhoto.com.
.com.